We're back with the Fox News alert. Israel's ground invasion of Gaza is imminent this morning.
One of the biggest questions on everyone's mind is how the terrorists were able to acquire their weaponry in such large scale. So let's go off the wall to explore the weaponry and muscle behind the horror and terror that we saw last week in southern Israel. And it always comes back, in the beginning, to Iran.
So the Biden administration may, for strategic purposes, be wanting to downplay the specific involvement of Iran in these attacks, but even they wouldn't deny the extent to which Iran has been front and center. Even though Iran's a Shia country and Hamas is a Sunni terrorist organization, normally they wouldn't work together. It's the proximity of the Gaza Strip and Hamas and their willingness to wage that jihad that has Iran interested. So whether it's tunneling through the infrastructure, it's smuggling weapons in otherwise that would look like legitimate means, a lot of times aid, they find ways to get a lot of advanced weaponry into Hamas.
We've mentioned that New York Times report a couple of times this morning, talking about how long this has been in the planning, well over a year, and the coordination and the number of people and countries involved in what we saw take place last weekend. Pete, I'm curious, you talk about how it came in through what seems like legitimate means or from the sea or through tunnels. We're going to talk about missiles and overwhelming power in a minute, but a lot of the damage done was with rifles. It was with guns. What are we talking about? AK-47s?
AK-47s, RPGs. In fact, we also saw M4s. A lot of that weapon came from our own stocks in Afghanistan. So the ability of Iran to import weapons, large and small, they've got a sophisticated network and they've been able to do it for a long time. And then you've got the recycle of materials. See, you think, oh, we're going to send water pipes over to the Palestinians over in Gaza to help with their infrastructure. Well, those water pipes get turned into missile silos. And they use the rubble or other previous scrap metals to turn them into weaponry.
On that note, one thing that's important is there's so many nations, including the United States, that send humanitarian aid to Palestine. And all of that almost is turned into essentially the war effort. I saw a video of bags that would have been used to send food that are essentially bunker bags for Hamas, and they've got the country of Japan emblazoned all over it.
Or think about how much metal you might use to upgrade your electrical grid that you could also use to upgrade your tunnels.
Right.
That's how Hamas is operating in the Gaza Strip.
Let's move forward. I asked about the essentially small weapon fire. Now let's talk about, greater scale. The missiles that we hear so much about, Pete.
Yeah, I mean, they've got it started for many years on smaller Qassam missiles that had a limited range. So you had really southern Israel is who had to be aware of what Hamas's threat. Now you're hearing alarms out in Tel Aviv and in Jerusalem because they've acquired more and more longer range missiles. It used to be a North problem with Hezbollah. Now it's a Hamas problem.
I mean, some of these, you see 46 miles, 93-mile radiuses. And as we've laid out, I mean, Israel's not a big country.
And you're also talking about bigger and bigger warheads in that case, too. So more and more damage.
Now, Israel has their own defense system. You've heard about it, the Iron Dome. This is, in essence, how that system works. I'll start at the beginning of this, Pete. The enemy fires the rocket from somewhere inside of Gaza or the West Bank. By the way, sophisticated firing system?
It doesn't have to be, right? So, in fact, the initial reports are that Hamas shot off hundreds of dummy rockets to try to engage with the Iron Dome so that their more sophisticated missiles would come later once ammunition had been spent out of Iron Dome. So any type of missile can be identified.
A radar system detects that a missile has been fired, and at that point, the control system begins to calculate.
That's right. And these are all mobile systems, so you can move the Iron Dome around to protect certain square miles of Israel as well. It's not just a missile hitting a missile. This graphic isn't necessarily accurate. It's almost more like a buckshot out of a shotgun.
So you essentially got a bullet meeting a shotgun spray?
You've got a shotgun. I mean, it's more than it's a bullet that becomes a shotgun spray to try to. It doesn't have to be point on point perfect.
Right.
It's got to be area close enough that it will take out that missile that's in the air. You also have another system called David Sling, which is for more sophisticated, longer range rockets, and actually a third system as well that Israel employs to try to protect its people at this point.
All right. And by the way, speaking of those rockets, you can take a look. The rockets from Hamas have improved over time. A lot of those celebrations I think you used to see when these rockets hit in Israel were over the fact that, oh my gosh, we hit something.
Yeah.
22%, 18%. This is hitting in urban areas and doing serious damage, human damage in Israel. But that's improved, as you can see, to about 50% accuracy.
Better technology means more accuracy, and they're always trying to get around the defense systems, no doubt.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.